right into it. All right, so this is Niche versus Authority. Again, I am Chris Palmer. And there are really two types of websites, like I mentioned, and you can choose to build either a niche website or you can choose to build an authority website. Now, really, they will both have their pros and their cons. Of course, with niche sites, they stay hyper focused on certain keywords or on certain products or solutions. They're also a lot smaller, so there's less work and less content, meaning there's really a lot less upfront investment. They're a lot easier to maintain with less moving parts, less people to manage. There's just a lot less things that you need to do, and they tend to rank a lot faster simply because of relevance. Plus, you are really putting all of your resources towards one site. Now, niche websites, if you follow good on-page SEO and feed the Google bot proper content or good content, quality content that is keyword rich and filled with LSIs, et cetera, quality content in the eyes of Gbot, you should be able to rank a lot faster. That is really one of the main advantages of a niche site, ranking faster. Now, because you're being focused on one main idea, you will tend to rank faster, but that's the issue, is it's only for very specific keywords. You already know what your volume is going to be, so you're kind of limiting yourself in that aspect. So, authority sites, before we get into that, let's go ahead and take a look at a niche site very quickly here. So, like I have brought up here, this is powerjuicer.com. This site is hyper focused on what is called a Jack Lane's Fusion Juicer. Okay, now this Fusion Juicer, it's a one single page. All right, this is their main page. There are other pages. I went ahead and brought this up inside of Ubersuggest so you can get a feel and an idea of what a niche website would be and how it would look. So as you can see here, their main driving page, which is only 30,000 monthly visits, not only, but it's 30,000 monthly visits. It's their main website. They have 342 backlinks, but each of their pages are dedicated to one juicer, one specific thing, and it looks as though that they are primarily monetizing through Walmart. Okay, so this is a prime example of a niche specific website. This particular site is selling one specific juicer, and as you can see, all of the pages are built up all within a silo, building to the main ranking page, which is to sell this power juicer. So as you can see, they've accumulated 342 backlinks. It's a power juicer. They have a download. These are PDF files. Here's an about page, deluxe. Really, this is a small amount of pages, but really it's all made of PDFs that are going to be booklets pertaining to this juicer. Everything is pertaining to one juicer. So now that you have a good understanding and a look, something that's within the same niche but more along the lines of an authority site is going to be, for this example, the Spruce.com. Now, the Spruce.com is most certainly, in my opinion, an authority site. They're not a huge, massive authority site like maybe sites like Wirecutter or anything along those lines. However, they are niche specific, but they are targeting a much broader category range. So let's go ahead and take a look at what they have to offer. Now, as you can see here, the Spruce.com, they are getting hundreds and hundreds of thousands of visits per page, but they are targeting things like feng shui in your home. Here's another feng shui. bathroom ideas, best vacuum cleaners, ballad designs, dry cleaning, landscaping ideas, countertops, quartz countertops. They're primarily basing their website and their categories around home and home furnishings, outdoors, things along those lines. Let's go ahead and take a look at their website. Now, what I really want to point out about this authority website is this. We have tons in 2, 4, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. There is 36, 40 plus pages on this website, all bringing in hundreds of thousands of visits per month. But this is the main benefit of an authority page. I want you to take a look here. They have a couple main pages. Oh, sorry there. They have a couple main pages, but what's really powerful about this is they are able to have their main ranking pages. But as you can see, they can talk about, they're primarily a best stoves and ranges. The Spruce is basically a home website. They sell things along those lines. And here's what's really intriguing and what's powerful about an authority site. If you go ahead and you take a look, what is dry cleaning? It only has 4 backlinks. However, it's producing 173,000 estimated visits per month. Let's scroll on down here. This right here is simply talking about a particular catalog, right? 1 backlink. They were able to launch this page. It only has 1 backlink, but because of the authority, it's able to rank and bring in an estimated of 126,000 visits per month. That is the ultra benefit power of an authority site. So let's go ahead and talk about authority sites. Like I mentioned, for a much broader reach. Instead of juicers, like we mentioned with our first example, you're aiming for the entire kitchen or the entire home space. That's for this example here. You're creating content and aiming for broader categories, ranking for thousands of keywords instead of only a particular few. Now, an authority site, like in our example, bringing in thousands of keywords, targeting multiple categories. As you saw in the example, the sites are a lot larger, so there's going to be more content, meaning more time and upfront investment. So authority websites, these sites will take you a lot longer to rank. But like we went over, the #1 benefit of an authority site is once you are positioned as an authority, when you create a new page, it ranks with nearly 0 links. And what's really powerful about these authority sites is once you're bringing in, say, top level keywords, right? There's also something known as the cluster effect. So when you're bringing in a top level keyword, you actually start bringing in other keywords that are in the cluster. When you're on Google and you put in your main category phrase in the top search bar and you search, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see a cluster also searched for. You'll notice when you target a main top level keyword, you'll also start bringing in those other keyword phrases, search phrases, even though you're not optimized for them, because you are considered an authority site. So as you create more pages on new topics, you'll rank a lot easier. So in conclusion, niche sites are a bit more beginner friendly, but they're still not easy. Niche sites will cost less overall as a big picture. Niche sites will have a lower exit, an exit meaning if you decide to sell the site, because eventually you have to decide all sites will flush away. So at some point you need to make an exit. A niche site will probably have a lower overall exit. If you're starting out, a hyper niche site might be the way to go. So that's niche sites. In conclusion to our authority sites, there are more upfront investments. These will take longer to rank. However, they're worth the money and time if you have the patience. That is without a doubt. That is primarily what my friends and I, that is what we target, along with local and things of that nature. But we'll talk more about that. And once you hit authority status, this is what I call it, authority status, it makes everything worth it. So once you start ranking for your main target keywords and you are in authority status, once you start putting pages out, you're just ranking automatically. It's a wonderful feeling. It makes everything worth it. So, depending on skill, all right, along with your time frame and, of course, funding, this will determine your affiliate marketing website type. So do you want an affiliate marketing niche site? If you're just starting, yes. Now, if you have patience, if you have investment, if you have funding, if you have the skill and know-how, an authority affiliate marketing website may be for you. Now, I want to thank you for spending this time with me. My name is Chris Palmer. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments below. I would super appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and if you like this type of content, SEO, local SEO, digital marketing, Facebook ads, social media, pretty much anything marketing related, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.